His alien tears turned to ice, but a human's warmth led him home. Scene 1. The wreck on the white plain. The storm came sideways, carving the ice into knives. Amina Malik hunched in her thermal suit, the beacon from the crash blinking a weak pulse through the snow-rimed visor. She found the ship half buried, a skein of torn metal and frigid silence. Inside, the air was glass-cold, breath crystallized in tiny stars that drifted and rang when they touched. He lay strapped to a chair, pale blue skin fractured with hairline frost. When Amina unsealed his mask, his first breath shuddered, and a tear slid from the corner of his eye. It froze mid-fall, a translucent shard that chimed on the floor. "Hey," she whispered, voice low and steady. "You're not dying on my watch." She slipped the warming patch under his collar, set the stretcher's heater to minimum. The alien's chest rose again, carefully, like a locked door opening an inch. His eyes found her, a shade of winter sky, and he tried to shape words she couldn't hear. "Don't talk," Amina said. "Breathe. I'll get you to the outpost." Behind them, the wreck quivered as the wind howled through it, threading a thin, mournful song out of bent struts and broken trusses. Amina carried him into the storm, the tear shard in her pocket ringing with every step. Scene 2. Warmth as medicine, warmth as threat. In the outpost's med bay, heaters hummed and snow steamed off Amina's suit. The alien curled away from the infrared lamps, hands raised in alarm. Amina dialed the temperature down until his breathing eased. She clipped a translator bead to his throat. "Irix," he whispered at last, the syllables faint like something said to a window. "Of the Glaith. I'm Amina. It's all right. You're safe." He shook his head, a tremor rippling through him. "Warmth devours us. Too much heat and we run. Run." He touched the tear shard Amina had set by the bed. "Our tears, memory salt, become ice. If they melt, the memory dissolves. Gone." His voice frayed. "I carry my family in my tears." Amina's gaze flicked to the pouch at his belt, glittering pebbles of frozen grief. "Then we'll be careful," she said. "But you need some heat, slow and gentle. Like sunrise, not noon." He watched her with wary hope, and for the first time since the wreck, he let the warming blanket rest across his shoulders. Scene 3. The song inside the ice. Days folded into a rhythm. Amina worked the tunable lamps in micro-increments. Irix slept, woke, and spoke of a world of Aurora-lit cathedrals where sound rang through carved ice like bells. At night he held one crystal between fingers, turning it in the dim light. The outpost sighed with ancient ductwork and the steady heart of the generator. On the fourth evening, Amina set a crystal in a clear dish beneath a spectrometer's beam. "Just to look," she promised. "No melting." The beam crossed the crystal. Light refracted, scattering into thin lines. The workstation translated the pattern into audio. A sound soft as distant chimes filled the room. Irix's breath caught. The song was a cradle melody, rising, falling, opening a door in the air. "My mother," he said, not speaking to Amina so much as to the sound itself. Her voice. Amina grinned through the sting in her eyes. "Your tears don't only store what you lose. They carry what can guide you." She mapped the spectra, saw coordinates hidden in the harmonics, a star map sketched in pitch. The pulses repeated at intervals that matched known drift of the refugee fleet rumor had spoken of. Irix's hand found hers without thinking. His skin was cool, but not cold enough to scare him. "Can you?" "I can try to find your people," Amina said. "But the outpost transmitter is too weak. We'll need the relay spire on Crane Ridge." "Crane Ridge." He turned to the viewport. Beyond it, the white world rose in jagged teeth. In all this storm. She squeezed his fingers. We go at dawn. Scene 4. Across the knife of the world. The storm broke into a brittle blue morning. They yoked a crawler to 2 sleds and lashed their packs tight. Irix sat beside Amina in the driver's seat, eyes narrowed as sun shards flashed off the ice. Crevasses opened like mouths. Once, the crawler slewed and Amina corrected with sharp, practiced hands. Irix braced the sled with his weight, humming under his breath, a low glacier song that seemed to steady the machine. They paused only once at noon, sipping hot broth that fogged the visor glass. Amina pressed her glove to his shoulder. You okay? I am not undone, he said after a moment, and she smiled at the phrase. By late afternoon the ridge loomed, a cracked spine against a wounded sky. The relay spire stood there, metallic, frost-caked, its dish sagging like a fallen moon. Amina climbed with a harness and a kit. Irix followed, light on his feet, his breath pluming. At the base of the dish, the power module was dead. Scene 5. The smallest fire. We can jump it, Amina said, breath harsh. But I need a conductive medium to bridge the cracked coupler. Water would do. She scanned the ice. Everything is too pure frozen. It won't seat. Eric stood very still. His pouch of crystals lay against his chest, singing faintly as if in memory of the spectrometer's beam. Water, he said. A drop. Just a drop. I'm not asking. He already had a crystal in his palm. It caught the pale light, the music inside too soft to hear. His face opened with the ache of choosing. This is my father, he said. Amina's throat tightened. We can find another way. He shook his head. The wind worried at them, hissing in the dish's ribs. He sang me to walk on ice without fear. He would say, a path is made by a step. Irix cupped the crystal in both hands and held it near the warming coil. It softened, wept, and became a round, perfect drop. He shepherded it into the coupler's mouth. The relay took the bridge. Light stumbled, then steadied. The dish groaned as it found the sky again. Amina keyed the coordinates. The transmitter woke like something surfacing from a dream, threw their plea into the dark. The signal went out, and the ridge paid them in Aurora, curtain upon curtain, green and violet suturing the winter. Irix stood with eyes closed, the wind combing his hair. A single tear formed. Amina caught it in her bare palm. For a heartbeat it didn't freeze. Scene 6. What warmth remembers. They spent 2 nights at the outpost waiting. Irix walked the narrow corridors, fingers on the bulkheads, learning the language of heat, radiator, kettle, coil, until he could approach without fear. Amina brewed tea and set the mug between them, steam climbing like a flag. They spoke of Karachi summers and Glaith winters, of sand that burned your feet and ice that sang beneath them. When the reply came, it was a ship's shadow across the stars, sleek and blue, lights like beads on a string. The refugee flotilla had heard. They would arrive by dawn. In the dim before morning, Irix stood by the viewport. I did not think home could return, he said. I did not think I could move toward anything but absence. Amina came to stand beside him, shoulder to shoulder. Sometimes home is a direction before it's a place. He looked down at their hands, so different and so the same. You made me less afraid of warmth. You taught me that ice can sing.